Hi guys, welcome back. I am Laetitia, an INFJ and a mentor for introverts, sensitive people and quiet ones who want to stop feeling like wallflowers and claim their place in the world. So I'm here to help you connect and to help you have the impact you're here for. This video is inspired by one of my clients who is an INFJ as well, and who told me this week that a lot of the YouTube content around INFJs does feel quite limiting to her and actually made her feel scared and anxious. So to counterbalance this, I wanted to make this video and share with you the very positive aspects of being an INFJ. And before we dive in, I have a little note for you. If you would like to be mentored by me to focus on a powerful root transformation so that you can begin to embody the thriving and confident part of you, feel free to check out my one-on-one program in the description box. I work with a few clients a month, so if you feel drawn to knowing more about it and to see if it's the right fit, message me and we can have a nice chat. So now let's dive in. Why is it important to counterbalance that content that can make you feel anxious and scared about being an INFJ? It is important because when you see titles like "Why being an INFJ is exhausting," those 3 people you need to avoid at all costs, or "Why INFJs are admired and then left behind," then it can make you feel anxious, of course, and the risk is that it may cement into your mind an identity that is limited, and that is making you feel doomed and worried. And you may start believing that what you want is not available to you. The connection, the loyalty, and that sense of belonging that you're craving. And don't get me wrong, those types of content are also very interesting, and yes, there is polarity in everything. So being an INFJ does come up with its own challenges. However, when you fully embrace who you are and connect to your values and strength, you will see that being an INFJ gets to be a wonderful thing. My first tip here, however, is to not identify too much with your personality type. So here's a mistake that I made. I used to identify so much with being an introvert and struggling with social anxiety for a big part of my life that I actually cemented deeper into me the more quiet and withdrawn part of myself. As an introvert, you do need quiet alone time to recharge your batteries, and you may notice that sometimes your social batteries run out quite quickly, but it does not mean that you can't also be sociable and chatty and outgoing. Both of those things are absolutely possible and they can cohabit. So what about reframing being an introvert as I need my quiet alone time, but I am also sociable, bubbly and chatty? That feels better, right? And I'm sure that if you look into yourself, you will find that it is actually the case, that this is actually your natural response, your natural behavior when you are not being limited by your past experiences and by your limiting beliefs. So here are some very positive things to remember as an INFJ. First, your essence is precious. You feel things deeply as an INFJ. You tend to be very aware of social dynamics, of people's emotions, you think deeply about things, and sometimes your thinking may feel a little bit abstract because it's very deep and you're very connected to the feelings and sensations. And it can feel hard to put into words sometimes. But what all this means is that you are a really deep and interesting person. You're not surface level. And maybe it feels hard to communicate this depth, to communicate your essence. So remember this, your essence, your depth is so precious that it doesn't necessarily need to be shared with everyone everywhere. Shall we accept that? Your intelligence and your depth will come out when the time is right and when people are ready to meet you there. Those are precious things. So nourish your essence, nourish your depth, and be patient with sharing it. I know you're craving to be seen. That's something that introverts often feel because they often sense that their depth actually and who they really are is not fully seen, but there's also a tendency to not show yourself fully because you've often felt that you didn't belong, you've often felt different. So you're probably craving to be seen, but don't worry, you will be seen. You'll know when it feels good and aligned to share it. See yourself first, And that will diminish this craving to be seen, and you'll be able to show up a lot more freely in your social interactions when you really see your essence and your depth, first of all. Secondly, your inner vision and your personal values are your guides. What is it that you truly want? Get very honest on what it would look like. Are you moving towards those things right now, or are you denying them? Which values are most precious for you? And are they present enough in your life right now? Those are wonderful questions to ask yourself, and especially as an INFJ, because you need to be guided by those values in order to feel fulfilled. For me, it's freedom and inspiration. Those are my main values. So when I feel a little bit misaligned, when I feel that something is a bit off, I always go back to this and ask myself, am I living these values enough? And how can I feel more free and more inspired in my life? So, for example, I would ask myself, the way that my life is right now, or that my work is, does it feel inspiring enough? Do I feel free in that? And I will reflect on this and readjust things step by step so that I can feel more fulfilled and joyful. And that really is a key thing for you as an INFJ in order to feel happy and fulfilled. And it is so precious to have this radar within yourself that guides you, because when you listen to it, it guides you towards a happier and more fulfilling life. And that truly is a blessing. It's such a great asset to have within yourself. Seeking fulfillment is key for an INFJ, over financial success or more materialistic things actually. So remember that. The third thing to remember is that you get to feel valuable and enough. An INFJ has often felt different growing up. It was my case, I'm pretty sure it was your case as well. And society has made us feel awkward maybe and like we don't belong. So start building your value now. It is never too late. It is a crucial part of owning who you are and feeling fulfilled. So here, you must know that INFJs are fueled by a profound internal passion. So the more you dive deep into the things that you love, into your passions, into what interests you, the more valuable you are going to feel. Because this passion, this interest, this curiosity for things that you have, it contributes to you feeling more whole, feeling more complete, more full. And what that does is that it helps you connect to your value, it helps you feel more confident, it helps your sense of self-esteem, and it connects you to a really profound and rich identity. The clearer you are about the things that you love, and the more you allow yourself to fully integrate them, to fill yourself with them, to nourish yourself with those things, the more valuable you're going to feel, because you're going to be so aligned with what you love. And that's a key thing for INFJs, and I can tell you that this works. I do a lot of work at the deep subconscious level because I'm focused on root transformation. That's the identity part, that's the key. But while you do this, it's also so crucial to really nourish yourself with all the things you love. And I noticed it in my life. It really helped me build my sense of value. Maybe you already do it, but are you actually acknowledging yourself for it? Are you acknowledging that it is showing you how intelligent you are, how open-minded you are, how deep you are? The next thing is that you're not scared of being alone, and this is a great asset for you. Honestly, most people are scared of being alone. But you as an INFJ, you actually thrive when you're by yourself. And that's a great thing. It's not negative, it's good. Because you have a rich inner world, it doesn't feel lonely, it feels full. And of course, you can experience loneliness when there's a lack of balance, when really there's not enough social life in your daily life, and maybe you need to bring things in balance there, and realign them. However, remember that you have such a rich inner life that you get to feel really full when you're by yourself. So ultimately, when you decide to be with someone in a relationship, let's say, it's really because you want to. It's not because you're scared of being alone. Of course, there may be some emotional patterns to clear and rewire in order to reach this personal freedom of choice, but it is there for you. And in friendships, you'll notice that maybe you also are quite selective, because you want to be around people who make you feel good, who contribute to your sense of well-being. And you want to be around people who see you and who don't contribute to you feeling different. And if you don't have these people yet in your life, You may prefer being alone, and that's completely okay. Those people will come. Again, when the time is right, they will come. And when that happens, it clicks, and you'll know it, you'll feel it, and it will feel great. Being selective allows you to set boundaries, which a lot of people don't do, and to be very clear around who and what you let into your life. Being very selective in this way actually helps you feel happy, because you're not settling for what does not feel good. And just a few close relationships can make an INFJ feel really fulfilled and satisfied, so don't worry about the number of friends that you have. So you'll notice that you are an independent person, and that when you are really embracing this independence, you will feel good. To finish with this list, let's talk about how the INFJ yearns to avoid the ordinary. That's another quality. What it does is that most INFJs are really going to pave their way through life, their own path, and have their own way of moving through the world. We often find INFJs in the arts, in freelance, and creating roles especially for themselves. That's what I did with my business, for example, and I'm also a creative. I've got film and book projects, so all of those things that I'm bringing into my life are really in alignment with that, with my INFJ personality type. And that's a great thing, to pave your own path. You don't have to try to conform, because when you really follow your path, again, that leads you to fulfillment. You strive for what feels exciting and true for you, and a lot of people don't do that. So to conclude, as an INFJ, when you keep yourself aligned with your values, with your passions, with your desires, you're very likely to feel fulfilled and happy. So it is not true that an INFJ is likely to feel depressed and feel so different from the world that they're not gonna be able to reach happiness. I don't believe this is true. You actually have in you the key to really create a life made of alignment, made of fulfillment. You have that key. And if you feel right now that you are not aligned with those things, it's perfectly okay. It's a beautiful time to take a step back and to take some time to reflect and to reevaluate, and then to bring some aspects of your life or of yourself into alignment. It's also a perfect time to do some deeper work and to see what you want to shift in your relationship with yourself in order to feel more aligned and to feel more fulfilled. Let me know how this video resonated with you, and if it helped you, please feel free to like the video, to share it, and to subscribe to the channel to keep seeing content like this. I am sending you much love and have a beautiful day. Bye.